maybe around 14 points. And write from dictation is another big one, also around 20 points.
So those three: repeat sentence, summarize spoken text, and write from dictation are the heavy hitters for the listening score.
They seem to be, based on that analysis. Language Academy PTE also mentions highlighting correct words contributes a fair bit, maybe 7 points or so. But their advice is clear. If you want maximum impact on your listening score, really nail those top three.
That's incredibly useful for focusing practice, knowing where to spend your energy. Okay, what about common mistakes? What trips people up most often in this section?
Leap Scholar lists a few common ones. First, simply not reading or following the instructions properly for each different task type. Seems basic, but it happens,
Easy to do under pressure.
for sure. Then, ineffective note-taking, like we discussed. Either too much detail, getting lost, or too little, missing key info.
Right.
Also, failing to use context clues, not listening for tone, or looking at surrounding words. Mishearing words is another big one, often because of unfamiliarity with accents.
Especially in fill in the blanks or write from dictation, I imagine.
Exactly. And finally, just random guessing on those negatively marked questions, it can really backfire.
Knowing these pitfalls is half the battle, hopefully. So, where can listeners go to practice and find good materials?
Lots of options. The official PTE materials are always a good start. Practice apps, mock tests are highly recommended by the official guide and Leap Scholar. YouTube walkthroughs are also great for seeing strategies applied.
Are there free options too?
Yes, sites like Exam English and Leap Scholar offer some free practice tests. And definitely check out the YouTube channels we mentioned, like Language Academy PTE and E2 PTE. They have tons of detailed videos and guidance specifically for PTE, including listening.
Excellent. So, plenty of resources out there. As we wrap up this deep dive on PTE listening, what's the one final thought or piece of advice you leave our listeners with?
I think it comes down to this. Consistent, smart practice really is key. Don't just passively listen. Actively work on understanding the tasks, hone your note-taking, be strategic about your time, understand the scoring,
Know the rules of the game.
exactly,
Yeah.
and learn from the common mistakes. If you really apply the kinds of strategies and insights we've talked about today, you put yourself in a much, much stronger position to tackle this module confidently and get the score you need.
Well said. So, to quickly recap, we've unpacked the 8 task types, talked through key skills like listening and note-taking, stress time management, shed light on scoring, flagged common errors, and pointed to useful resources.
Hopefully everyone feels more prepared now. The next step is to actually dive into those practice materials and start applying these techniques. Familiarity and practice build confidence.
Absolutely. You should definitely feel better equipped now to face the PTE listening module head on. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Good luck to everyone preparing.